The death toll in Iran's ongoing protests have now risen to at least 35, with over 1,200 people detained. And according to the US-based human rights activists news agency, the protests, which have been ongoing for well over a week, show no signs of any stopping. Now, the agency has reported that the casualties include 29 protesters, 4 children and 2 members of the security forces, and that the protests have now spread to more than 250 locations across 27 provinces. The group, relying on an internal activist network, has been accurate in past reporting. Now, videos circulating on social media have surfaced that show the Iranian government's crackdown on the protests. In one of the videos, it is claimed that the authorities apparently targeted a hospital in the Elam province, where wards were reportedly raided with tear gas and ammunition. Medical staff were also apparently beaten up, and these actions are being criticized as a violation of international law. Now, Iran's judiciary has warned that Tehran will offer no leniency to any of the rioters, even though the public has been told that it has a right to demonstrate. Now, according to the Mizan news agency, the head of the country's judiciary, Mohseni, has said that he has instructed the Attorney General and the prosecutors across the country to act in accordance with the law, with a resolve against the rioters and those who support them. And he also went on to add that Iran listens to the protesters and their criticism and distinguishes them and the rioters. The remark has come after the American President Donald Trump warned that Iran will get hit very hard by the United States if the authorities kill demonstrators. The protests erupted in Iran on the 28th of December when shopkeepers in the capital city of Tehran staged a strike over the high prices and economic stagnation. They've since spread to other cities and have expanded to include political demands. However, according to official announcements, that at least about 12 people have been killed since the 30th of December clashes, including members of the security forces. And according to Mizan, the police intelligence officers in the capital have identified a suspected rioter hideout and have also seized weapons, ammunition and material for making improvised explosive devices. Now, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has urged Iran to respect the protesters' right to peaceful demonstration, emphasizing the need to prevent further casualties and to allow individuals to express their grievances. Now, India on Monday has issued an advisory urging its citizens to avoid non-essential travel to Tehran. Now, according to the advisory, the Indian nationals are advised to avoid all non-essential travel until further notice. It's further added that the Indian nationals living in Iran on resident visas have been advised to register with the Indian embassy, if not already done so. Now, Iran's economy has been hit hard by tough international sanctions, with its currency rial losing more than a third of its value against the US dollar over the past year and inflation in double digits. On Sunday, the government announced a monthly allowance for every citizen to alleviate economic pressure, equivalent to around 3.5% of the average monthly wage. And earlier we spoke with Burzine Wagmer from London. Burzine Wagmer is affiliated with the Centre for Iranian Studies at the University of London's School of Oriental and African Studies. Listen to what was said.
There has been report, as in yesterday's Times here in London, that there are plans in place for a so-called Plan B, that if things completely spiral out of hand and if the security forces, the conventional security forces, not the IRGC, who is regime loyalists, who refuse to fire on the protesters and take harsh repressive actions, then Khamenei might boot it to Moscow with 20 close aides.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.